In late 2022, parts of Florida's Daytona Beach shores were suddenly closed. Officials acted quickly after a massive object surfaced from beneath the sand. It appeared after hurricanes Ian and Nicole tore through the Atlantic coast. Waves carved away the shoreline and exposed something buried for decades. What emerged was unlike the usual storm debris scattered across Florida's beaches. Scientists described a large structure made of ancient beams and rusted metal joints. It stretched nearly 100 feet and seemed too deliberate to be natural wreckage. Officials warned that shifting sands created an unstable environment. Underwater currents around the site became erratic, with sudden drop-offs. Local marine life changed direction, fish avoided the area, and birds vanished. Residents shared footage online before authorities blocked off the shoreline. Speculation spread quickly. Some pointed to Navy sonar anomalies recorded in the region decades ago. Others linked the site to restricted maritime zones found on old shipping maps. A few suggested it could be part of Cold War experiments lost to time. Despite public interest, officials offered only vague historical explanations. Eventually, archaeologists suggested it might be a 19th century merchant ship. Florida has long been a strategic hub for maritime traffic and coastal trade routes. For centuries, merchant vessels and explorers passed through its stormy waters. But Florida's shores also saw conflict pirates, smugglers, and secret shipments. Some of the earliest settlements along the coast were built around hidden harbors. In the 1800s, shipwrecks were common, but many were never documented or recovered. Yet many experts noted strange construction details that didn't fully match. The timing, the location, and the silence around it all raised more questions. In this video, we reveal the hidden dangers beneath Florida's beaches, and why some believe this discovery was never meant to be found. But before we start, here's a little question to entertain you. Which lake in Florida is so large that it creates its own weather? A. Lake Eustis, B. Lake Apopka, C. Lake Okeechobee, D. Lake Harris. Share your opinion in the comments and patiently watch this video till the end to find out the truth. Number 20. Spinning fish in the Florida Keys. The Florida Keys, a stunning string of islands, are renowned for their vibrant marine life and dedicated residents. Floridians known for their deep connection to nature have shown remarkable diligence and intelligence in addressing a recent ecological puzzle. Since late 2023, an unusual phenomenon has been observed where numerous fish species exceeding 80 types have displayed peculiar spinning or whirling behavior. These affected fish often lose their sense of balance and swim erratically, sometimes even upside down in circular patterns. This strange occurrence has particularly impacted the endangered small-toothed sawfish. Sadly, an unprecedented number of these magnificent creatures have been found deceased. Furthermore, there have been reports of other marine invertebrates, such as crabs and lobsters, either dying or behaving abnormally in certain locations. The dedicated scientists at the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission and their resourceful partners are working tirelessly to understand the underlying cause of this issue. Their primary focus is on the potential role of harmful algal blooms and the toxins they produce. Investigations have revealed elevated concentrations of a specific type of algae, Gambia discus, in samples collected from areas where the affected fish were found. This algae is known to produce potent neurotoxins. These toxins could potentially disrupt the nervous systems of fish, leading to the observed spinning behavior. The presence of a red tide bloom in the lower Keys during late 2024 and early 2025 has added another layer of complexity to the ongoing research. It is important to note that the observed spinning behavior aligns with the known effects of neurotoxins. The initial reports of these spinning fish emerged in October 2023. The number of reported cases peaked during the winter and spring of 2024. Fortunately, there was a decrease in reports during the subsequent summer. While the overall numbers in early 2025 have been lower, the vigilant FWC continues its diligent monitoring and documentation efforts. The majority of observations have been concentrated in the inshore waters of the lower Florida Keys. Specifically, the area between Bogey Channel and Bull Channel has seen a higher concentration of cases. Some incidents have also been reported west of Key West and even as far north as Biscayne Bay near Miami. This ongoing situation highlights the unwavering dedication of Floridians to understanding and protecting their unique environment. Their proactive and intelligent approach to this ecological challenge serves as an inspiring example of responsible stewardship. Our team needs your help. Subscribe and like this video, and YouTube sees it as a signal that the content is worth sharing. That helps us reach more viewers. So hit that button and let's keep going. Number 19. Project Neptune 100. In 2023, a quiet underwater mission off the coast of Florida made global headlines. It wasn't a military operation or a deep-sea rescue. It was a science experiment led by a Florida professor who dared to live beneath the sea for 100 days. His name is Dr. Joseph Dituri, also known as Dr. Deep Sea. He's a professor at the University of South Florida and a former Navy diver. At age 55, he volunteered for an extraordinary experiment called Project Neptune 100. The goal? To explore how the human body and mind respond to long-term life under pressure, in isolation and away from the surface world. Dr. Dituri lived in a small underwater habitat, 30 feet beneath the waves near Key Largo. The capsule, known as the Jules' Undersea Lodge, was originally built for marine research. But for this mission, it became his home for over 3 months, the longest anyone has ever continuously lived underwater. Unlike a submarine, his habitat didn't rise and fall. It remained at constant depth, meaning Dr. Dituri was living under continuous elevated pressure. This made the mission scientifically significant. He wasn't just underwater, he was under conditions that tested the limits of human endurance and adaptation. Every day, Dr. Dituri followed a strict routine. He exercised, meditated, ate high-protein meals, and held virtual classes for his students. He also took part in extensive health testing, working with medical teams to monitor his brain function, sleep patterns, and cellular health. According to researchers, his body began to show signs of positive change. His stem cell count increased, his inflammation markers dropped, and his cognitive performance actually improved. It was as if living underwater helped his body reset and repair itself. Scientists now believe these findings could help improve treatments for aging, trauma recovery, and even future space travel. And it all happened right here in the waters of Florida. Would you spend 100 days underwater if it meant helping science and pushing human boundaries? Do you think this kind of research could improve life on land or even prepare us for life beyond Earth? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your opinion, your questions, or what you'd do if you were in Dr. Dituri's shoes. Number 18. Diana Nyad's journey. In 2013, the world watched as a 64-year-old woman defied the limits of age, endurance, and open water. Her name was Diana Nyad, and she became the first person in history to swim from Cuba to Florida without the protection of a shark cage. The journey began in Havana, where Diana stepped into the sea with a goal that had eluded her for decades. Her destination lay across 110 miles of rough ocean, stretching all the way to Key West, Florida. That stretch of water, known as the Florida Straits, is infamous for its strong currents, unpredictable weather, and jellyfish that can leave lasting scars. Diana had attempted this swim 4 times before and failed each time, but she refused to let go of the dream. For her, the 5th try wasn't just about breaking records, it was about proving something far more powerful, that you are never too old to chase a goal that sets your soul on fire. She swam for nearly 53 hours without rest, pushing through pain, hallucinations, and the sheer mental toll of being alone in the ocean. Her support team monitored her closely, but no one could ease the exhaustion or fight the waves for her. That burden was hers alone. When she finally stepped onto the sands of Key West, Florida welcomed her with pride and admiration. People lined the beach in awe, not just of the distance she had covered, but of the message she carried with every stroke. Perseverance knows no age limit. Diana later shared that her swim was about more than physical strength. It was about resilience, focus, and heart. She wanted to show the world that the second half of life can be just as bold, thrilling, and meaningful as the first. Her story struck a special chord with Floridians. Florida is a place where people respect nature and celebrate the courage it takes to challenge it. From deep-sea explorers to space pioneers, this state has always drawn those who dream big and act even bigger. Diana Nyad didn't just complete an epic swim. She inspired millions of people, especially those in their 50s, 60s, and beyond, who saw in her a reflection of their own strength. She reminded us that it's never too late to start, to try again, or to finish what once seemed impossible. Florida was the final stretch of her journey, but it also became the symbol of her victory. The state stood as both a physical goal and an emotional reward. In those final steps out of the water, Nyad became part of Florida's story, and Florida became part of hers. Would you chase a dream that took years or even decades to complete? Do you believe that age adds power rather than takes it away? Tell us in the comments. Share your story, your goals, or a time when you refuse to give up. Number 17. The only coral reef. Just off the coast of Florida, hidden beneath the clear blue waters of the Atlantic, lies something truly special, the only living coral reef in the continental United States. Stretching more than 300 miles from the dry Tortugas in the west to the St. Lucie Inlet in the east, this natural wonder is known as the Florida Reef Tract. It's not just a source of beauty, it's a vital ecosystem and a point of pride for the Sunshine State. Florida's coral reef is part of what makes the state so unique. Most people associate coral reefs with far-off places like Australia or the South Pacific. But here in Florida, this spectacular underwater world is right in our own backyard. The reef is home to hundreds of species of fish, sea turtles, lobsters, and even endangered corals. It's a living, breathing system that supports life both under the sea and above it. Geographically, Florida's reef is perfectly placed. The warm waters of the Gulf Stream flow along the state's southeastern edge, creating ideal conditions for coral to grow. Over thousands of years, layer by layer, the reef has built up into a stunning marine structure that helps protect Florida's coastline from storms and erosion. Scientists have called it one of North America's most valuable ecosystems, not just for its biodiversity, but also for its role in shielding communities. Floridians are especially proud of this natural treasure. Divers, snorkelers, and boaters come from around the world to explore its beauty. But it's not just tourists who care. Local residents, conservationists, and scientists have worked tirelessly to protect and restore the reef. Sadly, like many coral reefs around the world, Florida's reef has faced serious threats. Rising ocean temperatures, pollution, and a disease known as stony coral tissue loss have taken a toll. But the story doesn't end there. In true Florida fashion, communities have responded with action, not defeat. Restoration efforts are underway, with coral nurseries growing new colonies and divers planting them back onto the reef. It's a race against time, but it's a race Floridians are determined to win. Places like John Pennicamp Coral Reef State Park in Key Largo offer a glimpse of the reef's wonder. Visitors can take glass-bottom boat tours, go snorkeling, or dive beneath the surface to see it all up close. For many, it's an unforgettable experience, one that connects them deeply to Florida's natural world. This reef isn't just a Florida treasure, it's a national one, and it reminds us of the delicate balance between enjoying nature and protecting it for future generations. Floridians understand that balance better than most. They live at the intersection of land and sea, beauty and risk, growth and preservation. Want to help us grow? Share our new video on X. Every share counts. Number 16. AI versus hurricane. Florida, a beautiful sunny state, unfortunately often finds itself in the path of destructive hurricanes. Hurricane season officially runs from June to November, and during this period, Florida regularly feels their impact. Among the most terrifying hurricanes in the state's history, one can recall the devastating Hurricane Andrew in 1992, which caused colossal damage to South Florida, Hurricane Irma in 2017, which affected almost the entire state, and Hurricane Michael in 2018, which struck the northwest coast of Florida with incredible force. In October 2024, Florida once again faced a threat. Hurricane Milton was approaching the state. However, this time, meteorologists and emergency responders met the elements with advanced artificial intelligence technologies at their disposal. Drawing on years of experience in dealing with storms, Floridians demonstrated their courage and intelligence, actively using the latest developments to protect their communities. Predictive models based on artificial intelligence significantly increased the accuracy of forecasts regarding Milton's trajectory and intensity. These systems analyzed vast amounts of meteorological data in real time, allowing authorities to make more informed decisions about evacuations and the allocation of vital resources. After Milton made landfall, AI technologies played a key role in the rapid assessment of the damage caused. Drones equipped with artificial intelligence-based image recognition systems quickly surveyed the affected areas, identifying facilities requiring priority assistance. The coordination of numerous emergency response services after Hurricane Milton also significantly improved due to the use of artificial intelligence. AI systems optimized the distribution of humanitarian aid, medical supplies, and rescue teams, analyzing real-time data on needs. They took into account information about the number of victims, the condition of transport routes, and the availability of free spaces and temporary shelters to ensure the most effective delivery of assistance. Natural language processing algorithms analyzed messages from social networks and calls to hotlines, identifying areas that required urgent support. Such intelligent coordination of actions is a testament to the care and compassion of Floridians for those in need. But before we dive deeper into this explosive story, please take a moment to hit that like button. It's a small action, but it significantly helps YouTube's algorithm promote our videos and get this crucial information out to a wider audience. Number 15. The Guitarra Hotel. Rising boldly into the South Florida sky, the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, also known as the Guitar Hotel, is unlike anything else in the world. Shaped like a giant glass guitar, this architectural wonder is located in Hollywood, Florida, and has quickly become one of the state's most iconic landmarks. Completed in 2019, the hotel is a true feat of Florida imagination and engineering. At 450 feet tall, its glowing structure mimics the body of a guitar with curved sides, glowing strings of light, and towers that reach toward the clouds. At night, it lights up with dazzling LED shows, as if the building itself were performing a concert for the city. The design was a bold move, dreamed up by the Seminole tribe of Florida. They partnered with some of the best minds in architecture, construction, and entertainment. The result was a one-of-a-kind creation that celebrates art, music, and the fearless vision of the people who call Florida home. The hotel features 638 luxury rooms, world-class dining, a massive casino, and a stunning Bora Bora-style lagoon with cabanas and paddleboards. But it's not just a place to stay, it's an experience. Inside, guests find a 7,000-seat concert venue, countless shops, and elegant displays of music history. It's a destination that speaks to both creativity and hospitality, two things Floridians know very well. This project wasn't just about glamour, it was also about economic strength and cultural pride. The hotel created thousands of jobs during construction and continues to provide steady work for local residents. The Seminole tribe has reinvested earnings back into education, healthcare, and cultural preservation. It's an example of how Florida's communities are building a better future, one brilliant idea at a time. The Guitar Hotel also serves as a beacon for the state's artistic spirit. Its nightly light shows, visible for miles, combine color, music, and animation. Some shows even create the illusion of laser strings being strummed in the sky. It's like watching a dream come to life. Many visitors say it's not just a hotel, it's a piece of living sculpture. Florida is often celebrated for its nature and beaches, but the Guitar Hotel shows another side. It reflects the state's bold creativity, engineering excellence, and artistic soul. The people behind this project weren't afraid to take risks. They believed in something different, and they made it real. And that's the Florida way: brave, inventive, and proud of its roots. Whether it's space travel, environmental restoration, or turning a hotel into a musical landmark, Floridians know how to dream big and bring those dreams to life. Have you ever seen the Guitar Hotel in person, or would you like to? Do you think more buildings should be designed like works of art? Or do you prefer traditional styles? Let us know what you think in the comments. Share your opinion, your story, or your favorite hotel experience. Number 14, hurricane-proof town. In the heart of Southwest Florida, a quiet revolution is taking place. It's called Babcock Ranch, and it's not just another master-planned community. It's the first fully solar-powered town in America, built from the ground up with one bold goal: to prove that sustainable living can also be storm-resilient. The idea came from Florida real estate developer Sid Kitson, a former NFL player turned visionary. Back in the early 2000s, he purchased over 90,000 acres of ranch land, determined to preserve the natural beauty of the region. Instead of leveling it for profit, Kitson sold 73,000 acres back to the state for permanent conservation, the largest land preservation deal in Florida's history. The remaining land became the foundation for a town unlike any other. At Babcock Ranch, every detail has been designed with resilience in mind. The community runs entirely on solar energy, powered by an adjacent solar farm with over 700,000 solar panels. All power lines are buried underground, safe from wind and falling trees. Homes are built to the highest hurricane standards, using materials and engineering that can withstand major storms. Even the streets are curved and elevated to redirect floodwaters and minimize damage. This isn't just smart planning, it's a shining example of Florida ingenuity. The people behind Babcock Ranch didn't wait for disaster to strike. They built for the future, and they built it together. That future came faster than expected. In September 2022, Hurricane Ian roared across Florida. It was one of the most powerful storms in state history. Winds reached 150 miles per hour, and much of the surrounding area was left in ruins. Cities lost power, homes flooded, and millions of Floridians faced days or even weeks without basic services. But at Babcock Ranch, the lights stayed on. The water stayed clean. Internet and cell service remained fully functional. Not a single house lost power. Not a single life was lost. The town had passed the ultimate test. While neighboring communities struggled to recover, Babcock Ranch became a refuge, even offering shelter and supplies to others. News outlets from around the country rushed to cover the story, calling it a miracle town. But the residents knew better. It wasn't a miracle, it was the result of planning, courage, and community spirit. The people of Babcock Ranch aren't just survivors, they are trailblazers, showing the rest of the country what's possible when we combine technology with love for nature. They've proven that sustainability isn't a sacrifice, it's a safeguard. And in a world where extreme weather is becoming more common, this Florida town just might be a model for the future. Want to help us grow? Share our new video on X. Every share counts. Number 13. The Dali Museum. In the sunny coastal city of St. Petersburg, Florida, you'll find one of the most unexpected treasures in the art world. It's not just a museum, it's a portal into the mind of one of history's most imaginative and mysterious artists. This is the Dali Museum, home to the second largest collection of Salvador Dali's works in the world, outside of Spain. Salvador Dali was a Spanish surrealist, born in 1904, known for his dreamlike imagery, striking mustache, and larger-than-life personality. His paintings broke every rule of traditional art. He brought the subconscious to life through melting clocks, endless deserts, and strange creatures that seemed to float between reality and fantasy. Dali believed that imagination had no limits. He once said that the only difference between me and a madman is that I am not mad. Art critics have called him both a genius and a provocateur, but no one ever doubted his talent or his impact on modern art. So how did a Spanish surrealist become such a big part of Florida's cultural identity? It began with Reynolds and Eleanor Morse, a couple from Ohio who were fascinated by Dali's work. Over decades, they collected over 2,000 pieces, including paintings, drawings, sculptures, and rare manuscripts. In 1982, they helped bring that collection to Florida, believing the state's creative spirit and appreciation for the extraordinary made it the perfect home. And they were right. By 2011, the Dali Museum had outgrown its original home. So a new building was constructed on the St. Pete waterfront, combining modern design with hurricane-ready strength. The structure itself is a masterpiece. It features 18-inch thick concrete walls built to withstand a Category 5 storm, and a stunning glass geodesic dome nicknamed the Enigma. That dome reflects Dali's love for geometry, light, and the surreal. Inside, the museum displays more than 2,400 pieces of his work. From iconic paintings like The Persistence of Memory to massive oil works and early sketches, it offers visitors an intimate look at his creative evolution. Every room feels like a dreamscape, filled with mystery, emotion, and questions that never quite have answers. The museum isn't just about preserving the past, it's also about inspiring the future. It hosts interactive exhibits, virtual reality experiences, and educational programs that invite people of all ages to explore the power of imagination. Floridians are proud of the Dali Museum because it reflects something deep in their character. It celebrates bold thinking, artistic bravery, and the belief that ideas can change the world. In a state known for innovation, nature, and reinvention, Dali feels right at home. This museum is proof that Florida isn't just a destination, it's a canvas, a place where creativity is protected, encouraged, and shared with the world. Now, we want to hear from you. What's your favorite piece of surreal art, or what artist has most inspired your imagination? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your story, your opinions, and what art means to you. Number 12. Back to space. In the fall of 2022, a brilliant flash lit up Florida's eastern sky as NASA launched Artemis from Kennedy Space Center. This was no ordinary mission. It marked America's return to the moon after more than 50 years, and it reminded the world that Florida is still the heart of American space exploration. For decades, Florida has been the launch pad for the greatest space missions in history. From Apollo 11 to the Space Shuttle era, this state has sent astronauts, satellites, and telescopes into the stars. The legendary Cape Canaveral has witnessed it all. It's where Americans first left Earth, and it's where they're now preparing to go even farther. Artemis was the first test flight of NASA's new SLS rocket, the most powerful launch vehicle built since Saturn V. It lifted off with 8.8 million pounds of thrust, sending the Orion spacecraft on a 25-day journey around the moon and back. Though no crew was aboard, the mission was a rehearsal for the future, when humans will walk on the moon again and one day reach Mars. Orion flew 1.4 million miles, circling the moon and capturing stunning images of Earth from deep space. It carried test mannequins and scientific instruments, all designed to prepare for human spaceflight in deep space conditions. Every second of flight gave NASA new data, and every mile brought us closer to the next chapter of exploration. But this wasn't just about rockets and machinery. It was about human dedication, engineering excellence, and Florida's proud role in shaping the future. Thousands of Floridians worked behind the scenes, building parts, solving problems, and ensuring a flawless launch. The Kennedy Space Center, located along Florida's Space Coast, has become a symbol of American ingenuity. It's surrounded by wildlife preserves, which shows that in Florida, technology and nature live side by side. Here, brilliant minds protect ecosystems during the day and launch spacecraft by night. NASA's long-term goal is to build a permanent presence on the moon, and every mission in the Artemis program begins in Florida. The people here are not only brave and intelligent, they are deeply committed to progress, education, and exploration. Artemis 1 reminded us that reaching for the stars begins with the ground beneath our feet, and that ground is Florida. Do you think it's time for humans to return to the moon and go even farther? Would you want to visit Kennedy Space Center to see a launch up close? Let us know in the comments. Share your dreams, your thoughts, or a memory of a moment when space exploration inspired you. Number 11. Everglades Restoration. Florida is known for its beaches and sunshine, but deep within the state lies a vast, wild world unlike any other. It's called the Everglades, and it's one of the most unique ecosystems on Earth. For decades, it was shrinking and struggling, but today, Florida is leading the way in bringing it back to life. The Everglades Restoration Project is the largest ecological restoration effort in the world. It spans hundreds of miles and involves countless experts, engineers, and local communities. The goal is simple but ambitious: to return nature to its natural balance after more than a century of human interference. Much of the damage began in the mid-20th century when rivers were straightened and wetlands were drained to make room for cities and farms. While those changes supported Florida's fast growth, they also disrupted the flow of water through the Everglades, drying out habitats and endangering countless species. But Floridians are not ones to turn their backs on the land they love. In recent years, the state has taken bold, science-driven action to undo the damage, and the results are inspiring. One of the most powerful examples is the restoration of the Kissimmee River, a major artery that once flowed freely through central Florida. In the 1960s, engineers transformed it into a straight canal to prevent flooding. That stopped water from naturally reaching the Everglades and devastated the wildlife that depended on it. Now, after more than 30 years of planning and effort, Florida has restored nearly 40 miles of the river's natural meandering path. In the process, they brought back over 20,000 acres of wetlands, giving birds, fish, and other species a second chance at survival. The results are already visible. Fish have returned in large numbers. Wading birds once again flock to the marshes. Alligators, turtles, and panthers now have more room to thrive. The land is breathing again thanks to the dedication and intelligence of Floridian conservationists. And this is only the beginning. In 2024, Florida committed even more resources to this restoration. New projects include building reservoirs, reconnecting flow paths, and improving water quality. Scientists say these efforts will secure clean water not just for wildlife, but for millions of Floridians who rely on the Everglades system every day. It's a shining example of how Florida combines bold vision with respect for nature. This is more than just an environmental project. It's a legacy that future generations will inherit. It shows that when Floridians work together, they can reverse decades of damage and build something stronger in its place. The Everglades are not just a national treasure. They are Florida's beating heart, a place of mystery, beauty, and life. And thanks to the courage and determination of this state's people, that heart is beginning to beat stronger once again. Number 10. The Villages. In the heart of Central Florida lies a place that challenges every expectation about aging. It's called the Villages, and it's one of the fastest growing communities in the entire country. But it's more than a retirement destination. It's a living example of how Floridians are redefining what it means to grow older. What started in the 1980s as a modest trailer park has blossomed into a massive master-planned city. Today, the Villages is home to over 150,000 residents, most of whom are age 55 and up. But don't let the numbers fool you. This isn't a place where people slow down. It's a place where they come alive. The Villages offers an incredible mix of lifestyle, leisure, and connection. With more than 50 golf courses, 3 town squares, and dozens of recreation centers, there's never a dull moment. Residents zip around in golf carts which have their own roadways, over 90 miles of them to be exact. There are pickleball tournaments, live music every night, and clubs for just about every interest imaginable. People in the Villages don't retire from life, they upgrade it. Whether it's woodworking, dancing, painting, or swimming, there's always something to do and someone to do it with. Many say it feels more like a college campus than a retirement community. What's even more impressive is the sense of purpose that fills the air. Residents are active in volunteering, mentoring, and giving back. They take care of their surroundings, support local causes, and show a deep respect for the land and each other. It's proof that the Florida spirit is strong, generous, and full of life. The Villages is also a powerful symbol of how design can shape well-being. Walkable neighborhoods, beautiful landscaping, and easy access to healthcare help residents live longer, healthier lives. And they're not just surviving, they're thriving. Local officials and national researchers have taken notice. Studies have shown that people here are more physically active, more socially engaged, and report higher life satisfaction. One researcher even called the Villages a national experiment in aging successfully. When Hurricane Ian approached in 2022, the Villages stood strong. While some nearby areas suffered damage, the community's planning and infrastructure helped protect its residents. Floridians once again showed that preparation, intelligence, and a deep sense of community make all the difference. The success of the villages isn't just about sunshine and golf. It's about the people, brave, optimistic, and full of heart. It's a place built by Floridians, for Floridians, and it's changing the way America thinks about aging. Would you consider moving to a place like this in your golden years? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your story, your perspective, and your dream for the future. Number 9. Hurricane Belt. Florida's geography is both a blessing and a challenge. Positioned between the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico, it offers warm weather, beautiful coastlines, and a lifestyle that draws in millions. But that same location puts it directly in the path of nature's most powerful storms. Florida sits in what experts call the Hurricane Belt, a region where conditions are ideal for hurricanes to form and intensify. And while other states along the Gulf and Atlantic coasts experience hurricanes, none have faced them as frequently or as fiercely as Florida. In fact, Florida has been hit by more hurricanes than any other U.S. state. The flat landscape and long coastline make it especially vulnerable. Storms often approach from both the east and the west, leaving residents with little room to relax during hurricane season. From the Panhandle to the Keys, nearly every corner of the state has seen its share of wind, rain, and rising water. But despite it all, Floridians have not only survived, they've adapted, rebuilt, and come back stronger. Meteorologists point out that warm ocean temperatures feed hurricanes, and Florida's surrounding waters stay warm for much of the year. When these storms pass over the Gulf or Atlantic, they often gather strength before making landfall. Experts have noted that hurricanes tend to lose force over land, but by the time they reach Florida's shores, they're often already massive and well organized. That's why so many of the most memorable storms in U.S. history, like Andrew, Irma, and Ian, have had Florida in their path. Yet even with all this risk, Florida continues to thrive. Its cities are growing, tourism is booming, and real estate remains in high demand. Why? Because Floridians are nothing if not resilient. Communities have learned how to prepare, respond, and recover. Building codes have improved, emergency systems are more advanced, and neighbors support each other when it matters most. In places like Miami, Tampa, and Fort Myers, storm shutters are as common as palm trees. Generators, emergency kits, and backup plans are part of everyday life. But that doesn't mean people live in fear. Quite the opposite. Many Floridians take pride in their ability to weather any storm. Literally, they see it as part of the Florida identity, sunshine, surf, and the strength to stand tall through anything. Of course, hurricanes will keep coming. Scientists continue to study them, and weather forecasting has become far more accurate over the years. Early warnings help residents get ready well in advance. But even with the best technology, nature still has its surprises. What makes the difference is the spirit of the people on the ground, Floridians who refuse to back down, no matter how strong the storm. But before we dive deeper into this explosive story, please take a moment to hit that like button. It's a small action, but it significantly helps YouTube's algorithm promote our videos and get this crucial information out to a wider audience. Number 8. Retiree's Heaven. There's a reason Florida has earned its nickname as Heaven for Retirees. For decades, older Americans have packed up their lives up north and headed south for good. This didn't happen by accident. It's a result of geography, policy, and a lifestyle that feels tailor-made for enjoying life's golden years. First, let's talk climate. Florida offers sunshine year-round, warm winters, and gentle breezes from the coast. That alone is enough to make joints ache a little less and spirits lift a little more. For someone who's spent years braving snowy driveways and icy sidewalks, Florida feels like a dream come true. But it's not just about the weather. Economically, Florida is also one of the most retiree-friendly states in the nation. There's no state income tax, which means pensions, social security benefits, and retirement savings stretch further. Property taxes are relatively low, and there are tax breaks specifically for seniors. Many retirees say they feel like their money simply goes farther here, and financial experts often agree. But there's more to it than money. Over the years, entire communities have formed with retirees in mind. Take the Villages, for example. It's one of the fastest growing areas in the country, not just in Florida, but nationwide. What started as a small retirement development has grown into a self-contained town with golf courses, shops, restaurants, and dozens of clubs and activities. It's a place where people come not just to live, but to thrive. And the Villages isn't alone. From Naples to Sarasota, from Fort Myers to Palm Coast, Florida is dotted with cities that seem almost built for retirement. These places offer healthcare facilities, leisure centers, and social opportunities designed to keep people healthy, happy, and connected. Many residents say they're more active in their 70s than they were in their 50s. And let's not forget the people. Floridians, especially in these retiree-rich areas, are known for being welcoming, social, and full of life. Neighborhoods often organize events, block parties, and group outings. It's easy to make friends when everyone's in the same boat, ready to relax, laugh, and enjoy each day as it comes. Of course, Florida still has its challenges. Hurricanes, humidity, and tourist crowds are part of the deal. But for most retirees, the benefits far outweigh the drawbacks. This state knows how to treat its older residents with respect, comfort, and care. Florida isn't just where people go to retire, it's where they go to live again, on their own terms, in their own time, with the sun on their face and a community at their side. Hidden Discovery needs your help. Subscribe to our channel to help more people learn the truth about current events. And now, we move on. Number 7. The cruise capital of the world. When it comes to cruises, no place on Earth does it quite like Florida. With year-round sunshine, easy access to the Caribbean, and some of the world's busiest ports, Florida has rightfully earned its title as the cruise capital of the world. Millions of passengers begin their dream vacations right here every year, and the experience just keeps getting better. Florida's coastline stretches over 1,300 miles, offering plenty of room for world-class cruise terminals. But it's not just the length of the coast, it's what's on it. Ports like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Port Canaveral have become iconic names in the cruise industry. Together, they host the largest and most luxurious cruise ships on the planet. Port Miami, often referred to as the cruise capital of the world itself, welcomes more passengers than any other cruise port anywhere. Massive ships from Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian, and others set sail from here daily. Each ship carries thousands of excited travelers heading to tropical destinations across the Caribbean, Mexico, and beyond. Just up the coast, Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale has built a reputation for smooth operations and easy boarding. Cruise lines often praise it for its modern terminals and friendly staff. Further north, Port Canaveral has become one of the fastest-growing cruise hubs in the country. It's located just an hour from Orlando, which means passengers can combine their cruise with a visit to the world's most famous theme parks. Families especially love this option. They can enjoy the magic of Disney one day and be sailing through turquoise waters the next. What makes Florida even more attractive is how well everything works together. Airports are close to cruise terminals. Hotels and transportation services cater to cruise guests. Restaurants, shops, and local attractions all create a seamless experience before and after each voyage. For travelers, it feels like everything is designed with comfort and convenience in mind. Floridians take pride in this industry, not just because of the tourism, but because of the jobs and opportunities it creates. From port workers and tour guides to hotel managers and taxi drivers, entire communities benefit. Cruise lines also invest heavily in the local economy, helping Florida grow while keeping that vacation spirit alive. And it's not slowing down. New terminals, bigger ships, and more routes are announced every year. Florida continues to lead the way with innovation and hospitality. Whether it's your first cruise or your 15th, there's no better place to start than the Sunshine State. Have you ever taken a cruise from Florida? Or is there a dream cruise you'd love to take one day? Tell us in the comments, where would you sail if you could leave tomorrow? Number 6. America's best train. In a country known more for highways and air travel than railways, Florida has done something extraordinary. It built a train that feels more like a first-class flight than a commuter ride. Brightline is not just America's best train, it's also the most expensive, and it's changing the way people think about travel in the Sunshine State. Brightline connects major cities across Florida, linking Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, Orlando, and more. The ride is smooth, fast, and luxurious. Trains reach speeds up to 125 miles per hour, making it the fastest passenger train in the southeastern US. But speed is just part of the story. From the moment you enter the station, Brightline feels different. Stations are sleek and modern with comfortable lounges, Wi-Fi, and refreshments. On board, passengers enjoy spacious seats, clean restrooms, and a quiet, elegant ride. The premium class even includes cocktails, snacks, and access to private lounges. One travel writer described it as the closest thing America has to European rail comfort. But all that luxury comes at a price. Brightline is the most expensive passenger train in the United States in terms of cost per mile. A one-way premium ticket from Miami to Orlando can cost more than some flights. But for many Floridians and visitors, the price is worth it. The convenience, the comfort, and the time saved make Brightline a top choice. What makes Brightline stand out even more is that it's privately owned and operated. That's rare in American transportation. Most US trains rely on public funding. But Brightline is a bold Florida-based project that blends business vision with public benefit. It shows what can happen when innovation meets determination. Floridians are proud of what Brightline represents. It's a sign that the state is growing, modernizing, and leading the way in transportation. And it's not just about getting from point A to point B, it's about redefining how we move, how we work, and how we experience the cities around us. Brightline has also helped reduce car traffic between major Florida hubs. Instead of spending hours in congested highways, passengers can sit back, relax, and enjoy the view. Environmental advocates praise it too. Trains produce fewer emissions per passenger than cars or planes. It's a greener, smarter way to travel. And this is just the beginning. Brightline has plans to expand, with potential routes reaching Tampa and even other states. If successful, it could reshape how Americans approach regional travel, especially in areas where highways are overcrowded and airports overwhelmed. Florida has once again done what many thought was impossible. It created something fast, elegant, and efficient right in the heart of the state. Brightline isn't just a train, it's a statement about the future. Would you take a high-speed train like Brightline, even if it cost more than flying? Or do you think America still needs more affordable train options? Let us know in the comments. How do you prefer to travel around Florida? Number 5. Golf's capital. When it comes to golf, no state swings bigger than Florida. With its endless sunshine, mild winters, and stunning landscapes, Florida has become the golf capital of the United States. The numbers alone tell the story: over 1,000 golf courses, more than any other state in the country. And they're not just for show. These courses attract pros, amateurs, retirees, and tourists alike, all year round. From the white sand bunkers of Naples to the coastal greens of Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida offers variety for every kind of golfer. You'll find legendary championship courses designed by icons like Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, and Pete Dye. And whether you're teeing off at a 5-star resort or a quiet local club, the experience always feels uniquely Floridian, laid back, sunny, and surprisingly competitive. Golf isn't just a sport here, it's a way of life. In many neighborhoods, golf carts are as common as cars. People don't just play the game, they live it. Some residents even choose where to buy a home based on the course next door. And honestly, who can blame them? One of Florida's most famous residents is also one of golf's most passionate fans, Donald Trump. He owns several high-end golf courses across the state and is known for spending countless hours on the green. But in classic Donald Trump fashion, he made headlines when he did something only a Floridian would think of. He turned a part of his New Jersey golf course into a burial site. His first wife, Ivana, was laid to rest there, just off the course. Some joke that it was the ultimate tax write-off. Others called it a hole-in-one in estate planning. Either way, it's a story only Florida and the Floridian could top. Because let's be honest, Floridians are some of the most inventive people around. Where others see a golf course, they might see a future event venue, a real estate opportunity, or even a cemetery. That's the Florida spirit, creative, bold, and always a step ahead. But behind the jokes and headlines is a serious passion for the game. Florida hosts some of the biggest golf events in the world. The Players' Championship at TPC Sawgrass is a fan favorite, with the famous Island Green on the 17th hole. The PGA of America even moved its headquarters to Florida, proving that this state isn't just a haven for golfers, it's the very center of the golfing world. And let's not forget the golf tourism. Each year, thousands of visitors come just for the chance to play around under the Florida sun. Whether it's retirees escaping the snow or professionals training year-round, the golf scene here is alive, well, and booming. So why is Florida the golf capital? It's the perfect mix of climate, culture, and creativity. It's where tradition meets innovation, and every swing tells a story. Are you a golf lover, or do you know someone who is? Have you ever played around in Florida, or is it on your bucket list? Let us know in the comments, which Florida course would you love to play on one day? Number 4. Christmas all year. Tucked away in central Florida, just a short drive from Orlando, there's a little town with a name that turns heads, Christmas, Florida. And yes, it lives up to its name. In this small town, Christmas isn't just a date on the calendar, it's a way of life all year round. The town got its name back in 1837, when a U.S. Army fort was established here on December 25th. Since then, the name stuck, and the festive spirit grew into something truly unique. Today, the town of Christmas celebrates the holiday season 365 days a year, offering a joyful twist to sunny Florida living. Every winter, thousands of people across the country send their holiday cards to the Christmas post office, hoping to get a cheerful postmark that says, "Merry Christmas from Christmas, Florida." But the charm of this town doesn't fade once the decorations come down in January, because they never really come down at all. Driving through Christmas, you'll spot a permanent Christmas tree, festive decorations on local buildings, and streets with names like Sleigh Bell Lane and Candy Cane Lane. The town even features a replica of Fort Christmas and a small museum that honors the area's history and community traditions. What makes it even more fun is the contrast. While the rest of the country dreams of a white Christmas, this town offers a tropical version of the holidays, complete with palm trees wrapped in lights and Santa decorations soaking in the Florida sunshine. It's the kind of place where people wear flip-flops instead of snow boots and where sleigh bells meet beach towels. Local businesses and homes embrace the theme too. Shops are decorated year-round, and some homes proudly display wreaths and twinkling lights no matter the season. In Christmas, Florida, holiday spirit isn't saved for 1 month, it's a lifestyle. This town represents something Floridians are known for, a joyful, light-hearted approach to life and a love for the unique. Only in Florida could you find a place where it's Christmas in July, August, and every other month of the year. It's cheerful, a little quirky, and full of heart, just like the state it calls home. So if you ever want to experience holiday joy under the sun, skip the snow and head to Central Florida. Christmas is waiting, and it's always in season. Would you like to visit a town where it's Christmas all year long? Or do you prefer to keep your holiday cheer once a year in December? Tell us in the comments, what would your perfect Florida-style Christmas look like? Number 3. Alligator's heaven. When it comes to wildlife, Florida is in a league of its own. But one creature stands out above all the rest, the alligator. With its prehistoric looks and powerful presence, the alligator is one of Florida's most iconic animals. And there's no doubt about it, Florida is alligator heaven. There are an estimated 1.3 million alligators living in the state. That means if you're in Florida, you're never too far from one. They live in freshwater swamps, lakes, rivers, marshes, and even golf course ponds. From the Everglades to neighborhood canals, Florida offers the perfect habitat for these ancient reptiles. Florida's warm climate and abundant wetlands create ideal conditions for alligators to thrive. These animals love slow-moving water and mild temperatures, which Florida delivers year-round. Unlike many other places, alligators here don't just survive, they flourish. You can find them basking in the sun on riverbanks, gliding silently through still waters, or lurking just beneath the surface with only their eyes and snouts visible. It's both fascinating and a little spooky. And yet, Floridians have learned to live side by side with these powerful neighbors. Alligators have been part of Florida's natural landscape for millions of years. They are a vital part of the ecosystem, helping to control fish populations and maintain balance in wetland environments. When you see an alligator in the wild, you're not just looking at a predator, you're looking at a key player in Florida's natural world. Floridians know how to respect alligators without fearing them. In fact, many people admire them. There are alligator viewing tours, wildlife parks, and educational programs all over the state. Places like Everglades National Park and Gatorland in Orlando offer safe and exciting ways to learn more about these amazing animals. Some neighborhoods even have warning signs near ponds and lakes reminding visitors that they're in gator country. It's just another part of life here. Seeing an alligator isn't a shocking surprise, it's more like a reminder that Florida is still wild at heart. The relationship between Floridians and their reptilian neighbors is built on respect and understanding. People here know how to stay safe and give alligators their space. At the same time, they also recognize the importance of protecting them. After all, these creatures were once on the brink of extinction. Thanks to conservation efforts, alligators have made a strong comeback, and Florida has played a leading role in that success. There's even a touch of Floridian humor in how locals talk about alligators. Some say they're like unofficial mascots of the state. Others joke that if you don't see at least one gator while visiting, did you really come to Florida? So yes, Florida is alligator heaven. It's a place where nature still rules, even in the middle of modern life. And that balance between people and wildlife is part of what makes the state so special. Have you ever seen an alligator up close in Florida? Would you be brave enough to take an airboat ride through gator country? Tell us in the comments, what's your wildest Florida wildlife encounter? Number 2. The Everglades. Deep in the southern part of Florida lies a place unlike anywhere else on Earth, the Everglades. It's wild, vast, and teeming with life. But there's one fact that makes it truly unique. The Everglades is the only place in the world where alligators and crocodiles live together in the same ecosystem. Nowhere else do these two ancient reptiles share the same swamps, marshes, and mangroves. Alligators usually prefer fresh water. Crocodiles, on the other hand, like saltwater or brackish environments. But in the Everglades, those two worlds meet. The mixture of slow-moving rivers, coastal wetlands, and warm temperatures creates a rare blend of habitats where both species can thrive. It's one of nature's rarest partnerships, not because they work together, but because they simply coexist. Both creatures are at the top of the food chain, and each plays a key role in the balance of the Everglades ecosystem. They keep fish and bird populations in check, help shape wetland environments, and even create gator holes that provide water for other animals during dry seasons. While the alligator is more commonly seen and found across much of Florida, the American crocodile is much rarer. Florida is the only US state with a native crocodile population, and it's largely restricted to the Everglades and a few nearby coastal areas. Seeing both reptiles in the same region is not only exciting, it's a living glimpse into prehistoric history. The Everglades itself is a natural treasure. Often called the River of Grass, it stretches over 1.5 million acres. It's home to countless species, including panthers, manatees, herons, and snakes. But the dual presence of alligators and crocodiles is what truly sets this ecosystem apart from anywhere else in the world. Florida takes great pride in the Everglades. It's a symbol of natural beauty, biodiversity, and resilience. Generations of Floridians have worked to protect it, restoring wetlands, reducing pollution, and raising awareness. Visitors come from around the globe just to explore this incredible landscape, and for Floridians, it's something to be proud of every day. Whether you're gliding across the water on an airboat or hiking along a wooden boardwalk, there's always the chance you'll spot one of these powerful reptiles basking in the sun. It's a thrill and a reminder that Florida is still wild in the best possible way. And it's not just about the animals. The Everglades represents something bigger, a connection between people and nature and a commitment to protecting what makes Florida so special. Only here can you stand in one place and witness two of Earth's oldest predators side by side doing exactly what nature intended. Now it's time to find out the correct answer to the quiz. Which lake in Florida is so large that it creates its own weather? A. Lake Eustis, B. Lake Apopka, C. Lake Okeechobee, D. Lake Harris. The correct answer is C. Lake Okeechobee. Number 1. Lake Okeechobee. Right in the heart of Florida lies something truly massive, Lake Okeechobee. Known to locals as the Big O, this freshwater giant covers more than 730 square miles. That makes it the largest lake entirely within Florida and the second largest in the lower 48 states. But it's not just big on the map, it's big in impact. Lake Okeechobee plays a critical role in Florida's water system. It acts like a huge reservoir, collecting rainwater during the wet season and helping regulate the flow of water into the Everglades, one of the most unique ecosystems in the world. It also supports farms, cities, and wetlands across South Florida. Simply put, without Lake Okeechobee, much of Florida's natural balance would be lost. And here's something truly mind-blowing. Lake Okeechobee is so large, it actually creates its own weather. On hot, humid days, the lake's surface heats up, causing evaporation and forming clouds. These clouds can build into full-blown thunderstorms that appear suddenly, even if nearby areas stay dry. That's the kind of size we're talking about, a lake with its own atmosphere. But there's more. Lake Okeechobee is a fishing paradise. Anglers from around the country flock here for world-class bass fishing. Its shallow waters, filled with vegetation and wildlife, create the perfect habitat for largemouth bass, catfish, and bluegill. Fishing tournaments bring crowds year-round, and for many, catching a monster bass here is a bucket list moment. Surrounding the lake is the Herbert Hoover Dike, a massive 143-mile structure built to manage flooding. Today, it's also a popular trail for walking, biking, and soaking in the vast open landscape. Unlike Florida's busy beaches, this is a place of wide skies, natural silence, and peaceful views. It's a different side of the state, and one that's often overlooked. Lake Okeechobee is also at the center of important environmental conversations. Over the years, it has faced challenges from runoff and algae blooms, but Floridians don't back down from a challenge. Conservation efforts are in full swing, with scientists, farmers, and communities working together to restore the lake and protect the waterways that depend on it. The name Okeechobee comes from the Hitchiti words meaning big water, and it couldn't be more accurate. It's a living system, a weather maker, and a natural landmark all at once. It shows how powerful, beautiful, and unpredictable Florida's wilderness can be. Whether you're into fishing, wildlife, hiking, or just experiencing something uniquely Floridian, Lake Okeechobee is a place you won't forget. It's not just a lake, it's an entire world of its own, right in the middle of the state. Thank you for exploring the hidden corners of Florida with us. Click on the video you see on the screen to check out other hidden discoveries on our channel.